Picture this, USA. You're hustling in New York, smiling through family drama in Texas, or nodding along at a work meeting in LA, even when your gut's screaming, no. You think that's what makes you a good person? Jung would roll his eyes and say you're not being good, you're being erased. Every yes you spit out to keep the vibes chill is another piece of your soul you're handing over. You're not winning love, you're training folks to expect you to bend. From Miami to Seattle, we're all wearing masks to fit in, to get that pat on the back, to avoid the side eye. But Jung? He'd tell you that mask is a cage and the key's in your pocket. Ready to break free? Let's dive into why people-pleasing is stealing your life and how to take it back, American style. The truth. People-pleasing ain't kindness, it's survival. Let's keep it 100, America. You weren't born to please everybody. You were trained into it. Rewind to your childhood. Maybe a row house in Philly, a suburb in Atlanta, or a small town in Ohio. You learned quick that speaking your truth got you in trouble. Mom gave you the cold shoulder when you pushed back in Chicago. Teachers in Denver called you difficult for having a spine. Friends in Phoenix ditched you when you didn't go along with the plan. So you adapted. You smiled when you wanted to cry. You said sure when you meant hell no. You learned love ain't free. It's earned by being agreeable. Jung called this the persona, the mask you slap on to survive. It's like being the cameraman on a Hollywood set. You're there, making everybody else shine, but nobody sees you. And guess what? You're still doing it. Every time you say yes to that extra shift in Boston, agree to plans you hate in Austin, or bite your tongue at a BBQ in Nashville, you're telling the world your needs don't matter, you're not being nice, you're betraying yourself. Jung would say you're not just avoiding conflict, you're avoiding you. The cost, you're losing your soul.
People-pleasing ain't free, America. It's costing you your soul. You're exhausted, aren't you? Burned out from overthinking every text in your Seattle apartment. Snapping at your kids in Houston 'cause you're resentful but can't say it. Losing sleep in DC 'cause you're scared of letting someone down. That ain't just stress. That's your real self banging on the walls, screaming, "Where am I in this movie?" Jung said, when you live for everybody else's approval, you lose your identity. You become a shell, a version of you that fits into everyone's script. Co-worker in San Francisco, spouse in Charlotte, friend in Miami. You're the reliable one at your job in Dallas, the chill one in your crew in Portland, the always there sibling in Minneapolis. But what happens when you're done performing? You feel fake, hollow, like your life's a Netflix show you didn't even audition for. And the worst part? Nobody loves the real you, 'cause they don't even know who that is. They love the curated you, the one who says yes to keep the peace. But that ain't you. That's your persona. Jung's wake-up call. Stop pleasing, start being. Jung didn't play games. He said people-pleasing is a soul fracture. You're not just dodging arguments, you're dodging your truth. But here's the good news, America. You can stop. You can step off the set, put down the camera, and be the star of your own life. Jung called this individuation, becoming whole, not just liked. It's about owning your voice, your boundaries, your no, even when it ruffles feathers in Chicago
or makes waves in LA. This ain't about being a jerk. It's about being real. It's saying, I love you, but I'm not killing myself to make you happy. It's setting boundaries at your job in New York so you can actually enjoy your weekend in Brooklyn. It's telling your friend in Atlanta, nah, I'm not feeling it, without writing a novel to soften the blow. It's choosing yourself, not 'cause you're selfish, but 'cause you're whole. Jung would say that's not rebellion, that's maturity. And it's time to grow up, America. Why it's hard. The mask feels like you. Here's the tricky part. That mask you're wearing, it feels like home. You've been rocking it since you were a kid, molded by parents, teachers, and society to be good.
In Miami, you learned to smile through family drama. In Seattle, you learned to say yes to keep the job. In Philly, you learned to stay quiet to keep the peace. You thought that was love. You thought sacrificing your needs made you generous. You thought holding back your anger made you strong. But Jung would say, wrong. That made you disappear.
The persona ain't just a mask, it's a survival tool. It got you through school, family, first jobs. But when you start believing the mask is you lose your soul. You start asking, who am I without this role? What if people leave when I stop giving? Will anyone stay if I say what I really feel? Those ain't small questions, they're existential. 'Cause back in the day, being liked meant being safe. Now you're still chasing that safety, but it's costing you your truth. Every time you choose approval over honesty, you lose a little more of yourself. You become someone people depend on, but nobody knows. And that's the secret pain of the people pleaser. You get love, but it feels fake. 'Cause deep down, you know they're loving a version of you that ain't even real. The danger. You're training people to use you. Here's the cold, hard truth, America. The more you please, the more you're used. Not 'cause people are evil, but 'cause they respond to what you allow. Say yes to every favor in Dallas, and folks will keep asking. Stay quiet when your boss in Boston piles on work, and they'll keep piling. Never say no to your family in Charlotte, and they'll expect you to show up every time. You've trained them to believe you don't have a no. And when you finally try to set a boundary, they'll say you've changed, call you selfish, or guilt trip you back into line, not 'cause they're cruel, but 'cause they're used to your silence, your softness, your submission. Jung would say this is where the shadow comes in, the parts of you you've buried to stay nice. Your anger, your selfishness, your need to be left alone. You've pushed those down so long, they're screaming to get out. And when you keep repressing them, you don't get nicer. You get passive-aggressive, bitter, disconnected. You're not sleeping in your Denver loft 'cause you're overthinking every reply. You're burned out in Houston 'cause you're managing everyone's emotions instead of speaking your truth. That ain't kindness. That's emotional imprisonment. How to break free. 5 steps to ditch the mask. Ready to stop playing the people-pleaser role, America? Here's how to do it, step by step, with some red, white, and blue grit and Jung's wisdom. 1. Own the guilt. It's just withdrawal. When you start saying no at your job in DC or setting limits with your crew in Miami, guilt's gonna hit like a linebacker. You'll feel like you're being mean, like you're letting folks down. Jung would say, relax, that's just your brain detoxing from approval addiction. You're breaking a habit you've had since you were a kid in Philly. Feel the guilt. It's gonna sit in your stomach like bad BBQ, but don't let it call the shots. Say no to that extra project in Seattle and watch the world keep turning. Guilt ain't proof you're wrong. It's proof you're taking your power back. 2. Redefine your worth, Mid-America. We're hooked on being useful. You feel good when you're the go-to person at your job in Chicago or the one fixing everybody's problems in Atlanta. But Jung would tell you, your worth ain't in what you do for others. It's in who you are. Your truth, your boundaries, your quirks. That's what makes you valuable, not how many favors you do in Houston. Next time you're tempted to say yes to keep the peace, ask yourself, am I doing this for love or for safety? Then choose love for yourself. Your worth ain't in being a doormat, it's in being real. 3. Disappoint without apology. Here's a game changer, USA. You can disappoint people and still be a good person. Say no to that last-minute favor in LA without a 10-minute apology. Tell your friend in New York you're not feeling their plan without sugarcoating it. Jung called this integrating your shadow, the part of you that's allowed to say, my needs matter. It's not rude, it's real. And real is what builds respect, not resentment. Stop writing essays to justify your boundaries. A simple no is enough, whether you're in Boston or Boise. 4. Start small, Stay solid. You don't need to go full-on rebel in your Dallas suburb or your Portland coffee shop. Start small. Pause before you say yes to that invite in Denver. Don't over-explain when you turn down a request in Miami. Let your no stand without a PowerPoint presentation. Be quiet, be firm, be consistent. Over time, people will recalibrate. They'll stop pushing, stop assuming, stop draining you. You're not a pushover anymore. You're a person with boundaries, and that's power from coast to coast. 5. Live the new standard. Once you stop pleasing, you'll see who's really riding with you. Some folks, maybe that co-worker in San Francisco or that friend in Phoenix, will bounce when you stop bending. Let them go. That's not loss, that's clarity. The ones who stay, they're the ones who see the real you, not the yes man. They'll stop pushing, stop assuming, stop draining you. You're not a pushover anymore. You're a person with boundaries, and that's power from coast to coast. 5. Live the new standard. Once you stop pleasing, you'll see who's really riding with you. Some folks, maybe that co-worker in San Francisco or that friend in Phoenix, will bounce when you stop bending. Let them go. That's not loss, that's clarity. The ones who stay, they're the ones who see the real you, not the yes man. What happens when you stop pleasing? When you ditch the people-pleasing game, America, shit gets real. Some people will get mad. Your boss in Boston might not like your new boundaries. Some will guilt-trip you. Your cousin in Nashville might call you selfish. Some will straight up leave. Friends in Austin might not vibe with the real you. Let them. That's not cruelty. That's clarity. You're not here to keep everyone comfortable. You're here to be whole. Jung would say this is where individuation kicks in. It's not about being perfect or spiritual. It's about being real. It's about saying, yeah, I care about you, but I care about me too. It's about setting boundaries so clear nobody has to guess who you are. And the crazy part? When you stop trying to be everybody's hero, you start attracting people who love you for you, not your performance. You'll lose imbalanced relationships and make space for real ones, from LA to Philly. The payoff. Freedom, not approval. Jung didn't want you to be a jerk or a loner. He wanted you awake. When you stop people-pleasing, you don't just change your behavior, you change your life. You stop feeling like a background character in someone else's movie. You start writing your own script. Whether you're in a Chicago high-rise or a small town in Ohio, you'll feel lighter, stronger, more you. Your relationships will shift. Some will end, but the ones that stay will be real. You'll sleep better in your Denver loft, laugh harder in your Atlanta backyard, live bolder in your Miami condo. 'Cause you're not chasing approval anymore. You're chasing truth. Final frame. Be whole, not liked. America, it's time to step out from behind the camera. You're not here to make everyone else's story look good. You're here to live yours. Carl Jung would tell you, people-pleasing is a betrayal of your soul, but it's never too late to take it back. Say no when you mean it, from Seattle to DC. Set boundaries that protect your peace, whether you're in a boardroom in San Francisco or a diner in Minneapolis. Be real, even when it shakes things up. The ones who matter won't love you for being easy. They'll love you for being you. So, what's it gonna be, USA? Keep playing the role or start living the truth. The choice is yours, and Jung's rooting for you to choose you. Cut. That's a wrap. Now go be whole.